Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Strong Make Art Podcast. It's been a really long time, probably like a year or something like that, but just looking for the opportunity, and I didn't want to do audio anymore, honestly. So, on this incarnation of this podcast, I'm actually bringing on my nephew, who's a lifelong wrestling fan, just like me. I guess you can probably blame me for that. Uh, But no, it's great and it's fun for me. It's really fun for me to be able to have you on here and talk with you. You know, somebody who like has been. I've seen you from the start to now. Like now you're like a huge fan that goes to events and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh wow, like seeing that I had like a little bit of small hand to that. That's kind of nice. So how are you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Thank you for having me on. It's been quite some time that we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, definitely. All right, so no, I mean I'm glad we're able to do this now. So, all right, let's get into it, man. So, what do you want to talk? You want to talk WrestleMania?
yeah, let's talk
So, I
WrestleMania.
mean, I'll let you get your thoughts out first because I mean, you're the guy who keeps me updated on WWE. I barely ever watch WWE anymore. Like, all I see is like Twitter, Instagram, news clips, that kind of stuff. But not like I don't watch their shows or nothing like that. So, I might watch like a clip here and there on YouTube or something. But like as far as like watching their actual product, I don't do it. So like, what do you think? What's the march to WrestleMania? How do you see that right now?
Cody's gonna take it. Cody's gonna take the belt. It was kind of iffy with the whole Sami Zayn thing.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't sure which way it was gonna go. A lot of people saying he was gonna take it because it's part of the storyline, but they can't turn the title over right before their biggest event of the year.
Yeah, they kind of put themselves in a bit of a hole, at least from what I've read and from what I listen to, because I got listen to a bunch of podcasts, listen to Meltzer and JD and all that stuff. But like I saw where it was going, and like they always find themselves in this kind of situation where like there's a groundswell of people who like somebody gets over, right? And like Sami Zayn is one of those guys that people have always rooted for because he was always kind of an underdog and like not even like in the considered a top tier guy. So like now that he started like getting over, they're just kind of like it was in a weird spot for them because it's like, do we kill this momentum and just keep driving what we want to drive, or do we like just let it swell up to get those ratings, get the popularity, get people focused on, or get them like really interested in WrestleMania and what's going to happen. And it's like I don't blame them for going that route, but it's like they always seem to. And what made me stop watching them a lot was that they never struck when the iron was hot, like with somebody. You know what I mean? Like I think Daniel Bryan was probably like the biggest, like the one who they actually went with for once. But I don't think they ever had a plan for him to be champion for a long time. Never.
And
Like the injuries, and it might sound shitty, but like I think the injuries and him having to retire was like perfect for them. Like great, now we don't have that problem anymore. Now let's focus on this 20-year project
on
that is
another
Roman
guy.
Reigns, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so the whole Sami Zayn thing, like even the Elimination Chamber, I saw that happening. I was like, to me, I mean, I was talking to you about it. I was like, to me, the best plan you could do is like have Cody turn heel. That way, at least you still have Sammy as your biggest. You know what I mean? Like if he lost that match, if like Cody would have ran in and cost him the match, like holy shit, or like even in WrestleMania, if it could happen. Like for me, that's the biggest. Like that could be the best thing because like Cody's such a easy. You can like him, but you can also hate him really easily. So it's like, why not turn him? You could always, because you can always rehab him into a face later. Like right
Yes.
now, Sammy's the big baby face. Why not have Cody cost him that, and then now you still have Sammy as your top babyface guy that like people, because he just lost, right? He just lost to Roman, and he got the shit kicked out of him, and then
Yeah.
whatever with like Kevin Owens, like that doesn't. I mean, it's cool, but it doesn't really like. I don't really care about it. Tag team championships, like I think that's beneath him now. Both of them
Yeah.
actually, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Going off that, it's just like you said, like they have the momentum. They're able to switch Cody either way. Either way, he could be a heel, he could be a babyface, just like how he was in AEW towards the end.
Yeah.
The crowd just naturally turned him into a heel. No one wanted to see him anymore, and he was just playing the heel character, and he embraced that character towards the end.
Hmm.
So he could easily do the same for WWE, and I think that would be the perfect route. But I guess they just smashed that whole idea
Hmm.
and making it into something else, maybe co-main event. But I'm not too sure what they're gonna do with that now.
Yeah, I mean, from all looks, like every like podcast or clip that I see, it's like Cody stating like that he's gonna fight him for both titles. It's both titles, so I don't think they're gonna do like the 2 night thing. Especially, I think now that The Rock's not involved and stuff. Like I think they're definitely gonna do like a one time thing. But it's like, do they just like go with the plan and don't even acknowledge anything else and just like the tag team championship is Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos, and then this is your main event, and then that's it. Like once WrestleMania is over, what? Like, because the tag team division sucks. So what do you do with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Like, what do they do in WWE? They break people up. We've already seen that shit like 1,000 times. Around the time I stopped watching WWE, like they're fighting again. Like I've been watching them fight since Ring of Honor. Like I wouldn't. That doesn't bring like somebody like me who's like really jaded on them. Like that doesn't bring me back. Like because I just don't trust them. I don't trust them to do not the right thing necessarily, but the best thing. I know what the best thing is for them, for business, but the best thing for the fans and wanting you to keep watching it. Like I don't think they're able to do that, especially if like Vince is still kind of there pulling, and then like there's no guarantee even that Roman loses, because like that's their biggest cash cow. Like what does he do? Is Cody big enough to carry the show? Because Reigns, I'm guessing, is gonna take a break. Like is Cody big enough? So to me it's like I was talking to you too. Also, it's like when Cody wins, right? Who's this thing after Roman? Orton, right? It's Orton. Never seen that before. Like that's.
And they could build a story off of that, like with the whole legacy thing that they had before.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the history. So
it's an easy one for sure. It's a very easy one, but that's like not something that I'm like interested in. Randy is just I don't know, man. It's
he's
for
been
him
for
like
too long. And then when they originally had Riddle as one of the guys to be Roman, and then that just went south.
Like yeah, they build up everybody short term. So like when they were trying to build up Riddle, like somebody like Riddle who's legit like a fighter who on paper could probably beat the shit out of most of the people or all the people on that roster. Yeah, it's like, but they spend so much time making him a goof. They're like, he ain't winning shit. Like you know what I mean? Like whoever that they got, like Kevin Owens has lost to him 1 billion times already. Like nobody bought that shit. Like. So to me, it's like it's easier to build another long-term story while he's gone for Sammy versus Cody. You have this classic underdog versus this the kind that they like, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, suits, says all the right, speaks in this monotone kind of presidential way. You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect like I would, to me that's more interesting. Like I would definitely love to see it go that route. So, but I mean that's what I would that's what I would do if I was in their hands, but like, or if I was working for them. But I don't know where they go from there. Yeah, like, and then the field, once he loses the title, the field of challengers kind of gets refreshing because it's newer matches with Cody and stuff. But it's the same people that are going to keep losing at the top. The top is only like 3 or 4 people focused, and then there's everybody else. Like a big gap, and then there's everybody else.
I did see I want to say it was with Ariel. I always mispronounce his last name. Hawan.
I think it's pronounced douchebag. Oh, sorry.
That guy.
Yeah,
that guy. You pronounced it correctly.
Ariel, girl's name.
Yep. They had The Little Mermaid. They just he just had one with Cody Rhodes, and on there they did say that it's going to be on Sunday. So,
close out the weekend for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's the 2-day event, but he's going to go on Sunday. So it just leaves it open in the air, like what's going to be the main event for Saturday. Like off of the Elimination Chamber, I haven't watched the Elimination Chamber for the past couple of years, but I was interested in this one because of the whole Sami Zayn storyline.
For sure.
But I was like, wait, it's for the belt, but it's just a singles match. It's not the whole OG where 6 men are fighting for the title. No, they just made one main event, and then the event that they did have for that was for the U.S. belt.
Yeah,
so are they trying to push the U.S. title up, like to the same?
I mean, they have to, right? Because who's Walter? Sorry, Gunther. Who's Gunther facing? Because I mean, he's done a good job of building up that title. Like, so maybe, but see, if they would have been smart, they would have built up like a Brock Lesnar versus Gunther show, or even a Lashley versus Gunther kind of a program, and then that could have easily headlined Saturday. So now you're kind of stuck. So it's like, what do you do? Like it's probably going to be the Lesnar match, whoever he's fighting.
Unless they did it like, unless they're gonna do it like how they did. Well, I'm not too sure if it was last year or the year before when
Hmm.
Bianca Belair, that was the main event.
Right. Oh yeah, it could be a women's title.
It could be the women's title for the main event on Saturday, just how they did the previous years. But who knows what they're gonna do?
Yeah, and
Hopefully they
neither
go
one
in.
of those women's matches are interesting at all. So I mean, I'm all for it if Rhea gets to have her moment, and
Yeah.
that's cool because but like Charlotte losing at a WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna let that shit happen.
Yep. I completely agree with you. Um, and then yeah, and this Sunday is just gonna be that main event. I'm definitely gonna hit up Saturday.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but we got nothing else to do. We're gonna
Yeah.
hit up WrestleCon
Might as
before.
well- yeah.
Yeah, we're
Get
gonna hit
that.
up WrestleCon in the morning, get a few autographs, take a couple pictures, and since we're already down in LA, might as well hit up WrestleMania. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, they do have something exciting, but if not, it might just be a waste of money.
Might as well. I mean, yeah, that's true too. So I mean, and the thing about it is like you do a 2 night event, and it's really a one match event, and it's for Sunday. Like like we talk about any of the other stuff, but honestly, none of the other stuff really is interesting at all. Like there's no surprises coming up. Like nobody's coming back. Like Orton probably coming back may be a big one, and I can't see anything else. Like maybe some Hall of Famers like Taker. I know Cena. I think is in line to wrestle. I think that's the number one that they're going for the U.S. title, right? It's Cena versus Theory, which sounds terrible on paper because Theory, I've seen Theory wrestle before he got to WWE, and he was pretty good. And like to see his matches or the clips I've seen him at WWE, and keep hearing he's like boring and terrible now. So I was like, well, that's not good. Like Cena, he doesn't wrestle all the time, so like I'm sure it's gonna be a bumpy match. So who knows? Like I said, the rest of that card doesn't seem very appealing. Not to me anyway. I'm sure people.
Catch the Cena match when he came back to do the tag team.
I heard about how bad it was, how he was just yelling spots completely all the time, and just like not even trying to hide the fact that he hadn't been doing it in forever. So
The only thing that I remember is his bald spot. That
and
meme
yeah,
that was going around, man.
yeah, man. But I mean, Hogan drove that shit into the ground for like 40 years. So I'm sure he can still do it, but I don't know. Like that one doesn't excite me at all. Like Lashley versus Lesnar, whatever. I heard Omos versus Lesnar. Like you just crushed Omos. Like what? You know what I mean? Like nothing. I mean, Sami Zayn, now that he's out of the title picture, whatever he's matches in, I don't really care about. Like that main event's the only thing that I want to see where it goes. Like that's the only thing that's interesting. Yeah. So I mean that's so as far as for me for WWE, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, because they can't even really do much with the tag titles, like you said. The whole tag division in the WWE sucks. Um, who's unless WrestleMania is that thing where Riddle and Randy come back together and somehow help Cody win. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
They could go something like that, but we'll see how it goes. It's pretty much just focused on Cody winning. I really think he's gonna win it. Just
At,
a
at this
change of
point,
pace and let Roman get his break. They were building it up so much for last year before his injury.
mhm.
They didn't even make it a surprise that he was coming to the Royal Rumble. They announced he was coming and he won it. So it's just like it's what they've had lined up for the past year, 2 years. Well, no, only a year. Yeah, the
Yeah,
past
yeah.
year. So
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to go with it at this point. You're right. So yeah, I'm not even like they could very well have Roman still win just so he can break some kind of record, some other record or whatever. But they've been known to do bad business just so they can control the narrative. You know what I mean? Like Roman is number one, nobody else is anywhere near him, and we can always rehab everybody, which they can't because everybody as soon as they lose to him, they're down. So I mean, I don't know. It's like, do they do that to Cody, or do they think that he's that good that he can always come back? But it's like you build it up to WrestleMania, you got to have that moment. You can't like Sluger it. You gotta, oh, he wins by count out or something stupid like that. Like he has to win the fucking championship. So we'll see. That's
him because Roman hasn't been pinned in
yeah,
900 days or whatever. No,
yeah,
he's had the title for that long, but
yeah.
yeah.
So for sure, yeah, he has. That's what I'm predicting too. So all right, moving on to AEW. It's been kind of like MJF's title reign has been kind of boring, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
it's I think for him it's like since he's a guy that doesn't wrestle much, even before he was a champion, like you can't have him. Like they're trying to make it like they're trying to make it seem like every time he's there, it's something important. Like it's a big deal. It's an important thing, right? And then like as soon as CM Punk kind of just fucked up the whole everything, like that probably could have helped. Like that rivalry probably could have helped. But like right now, everybody's just kind of like there's still nobody's focused on that. Everybody's focused on what's going on outside of there. Like even the Elite coming back and trios champions and all that. Like everybody's like, that's great, but what's going on over here? So I think like as shitty as this sounds, like it's nothing's gonna happen there until somebody gets like a proper answer what's gonna happen with CM Punk. Like that, even no storyline that for the heavyweight title, none of that is gonna get like any traction until because people are always gonna be like want to like look over their shoulder, like so what's going on? Nobody's gonna answer that. Like if he says, oh he's coming back, awesome. Then you got like a whole bunch of fresh matches you can go with that rivalry. You can bring it back and all that stuff, and then or even like he comes back with FTR or something like that, like the best case scenario, and they do a trios thing against Kenny and the Elite. That's cool too, but like nothing. I don't think anything's gonna happen with them until you get a final answer with that guy.
Like who was it that I think it was with CM Punk, right? When he got hurt, so they had the two belts.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll do the same thing because he was never pinned.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna come back saying like I was never pinned, it's on my belt, and they'll probably start something up like that. But like you said, I don't see Brian Danielson.
Yeah,
I don't see him beating MJF. We'll see how it goes. That 60-man Iron Man match.
that's true. Yeah,
Uh, like you said, I've never seen MJF wrestle like that. I was just going over it with my brother the other day. I was like, actually, well, now that I think about it, what is MJF's finisher? It's just the ring that I could remember.
it's the salt of the earth.
The salt of the earth. That's
Yeah,
right. See, and he doesn't really use it.
armbar. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he only uses it to, like when he attacks people, but he has that, and yes, that I think it's like a draping DDT or like something off the rope, right? Something like where the guy's hooked on the rope and he does something. I don't know if it's a draping DDT or like a pile driver or something like that, but like
But he never wins with it. He never wins with it.
That's
The only
true.
way he wins the matches is the ring, the brass
Something screw
knuckles.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I
It's
mean, I
not
get it. He's that kind of heel where you're supposed to kind of just win by the skin of your teeth kind of thing. But like everybody's just like no matter who you put him up against, like that to me is like okay, but what's going on over there? Like the more interesting thing for me, like I said, is that scenario that I said like that CM Punk shows back up with FTR and they have a trios rivalry with Kenny and the Bucks or something like that, like or even if you split them up, like Kenny Omega and CM Punk as a rivalry is like money written all over it, dude. Like that's the money right there because that's two people who obviously had beef. I mean, I'm sure that they're if he comes back, they're gonna work it out or whatever. But like, as far as like a program, perfect. Same thing with FTR and the Bucks. I mean, they already have great matches under their belt, but like, you add like this personal thing to it, perfect too. Like, cause it just takes away from everything else. Like, Rampage is kind of a hit or miss show, and like to me, like I can't get past that scenario to even enjoy. Like, and then also like the Ring of Honor thing. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? Who's going to Ring of Honor? Who's gonna, you know what I mean? Like they're just doing tapings. I think in like Orlando. Yeah, so I was
I
like,
just saw that
man,
today.
like okay, like that's at least it's something.
Um, dang, I just lost my train of thought. It was well, going back to that match where everyone's just looking over the shoulder because they don't know, they haven't announced that he's dismissed or they fired him or anything like that. So, like you said, is everyone's still looking over their shoulder, and it's like, okay, so we still know that he's part of the company. So it's just waiting for that element of surprise. Is he going to come out? Is he going to come out? Is he going to come out? And it's
Yeah,
just like you said, you can't focus on MJF because you're too busy with everything else that's going on.
because the sexier story is outside, and then it's not even
Exactly.
really a story. It may not even be a real fucking thing.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and then until they say like, oh, he's not coming back, then we could focus on that stuff. But until then, but it's kind of similar boat with FTR. They're not on the show. Their contract's coming up in
Mm-hmm.
April. They have a couple months left. Are they going to resign or are they going to go somewhere else? Um, are they going to include them? I thought that they were going to bring them back for Revolution just because the Guns won the belt and
Right.
they're
Yeah.
the ones that gave them that L before they disappeared from TV.
True.
So that could be a good scenario to bring them back in and beat them for the titles. But you see that they have that whole that form. What is it? I forgot the name of the match. It's the four, the two v two v two v two fatal four, but with the tag team match.
Oh right, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that makes sense to have them in there because then they can always, like start off a rivalry from there, from like if they pin the Guns or not, or if they pin the Acclaimed or not, or the
Mhm.
Acclaimed turns, or something like that. Like
And
some,
it really caught me off guard. I didn't really think that they'd beat the Acclaim because the Acclaim, everyone loves the Acclaimed. But it was a good way to go about it. I mean, the reason I feel like FTR didn't beat him is because they can't have a face versus a face.
yeah. So the Acclaimed, yeah, it's strange what they did with them, but I think you have to do it because you got to kind of freshen up the act. Because like there was a point where the AEW's like tag team thing was, or their roster was insane, and now it's kind of dwindled down because like you got the trios thing, you got the ROH thing, teams splitting up, like you know what I mean, like so it's, you gotta do something to freshen up the act, and if they're still your number one act, then you gotta do something to freshen them up. It's like old school WWE things where like the team, you get them and they're high up and then they lose it and then they gain it back. Like the chase is always better than the freaking the actual run. The run, it's very tough nowadays to do a good run as a champion, a babyface champion, team or individual. It's tough to get that going because like the it's people have been watching this so long, and everybody can kind of predict what's going to happen. Like predictable is good most of the times if you give people what they want, but if you're giving them like the Gun Boys, they're funny because like they could be great heels. It's just I think they're too corny. So like once they kind of, I think in their next incarnation, like in the next few months, they need to start being a little bit more like actual like dicks, like bad people, not like like just hateable, like dorky kind of. Like they need to start doing bad shit, like.
Yeah.
And then because you already have heat, and then you turn that heat into that kind of heat, then you can elevate them too. They can be a top heel team for sure. But yeah, they need to start doing that quick. Like the women's division thing, like I'm still trying to get like they're putting, I think, Ruby Soho in to a championship match soon, right? And it's like trying to buy,
triple threat.
and they fucked that one up bad. Like that's one that I'm still haven't forgiven them for. Like how do you bring in somebody with that much of a following, that big of a hype, that much like heat, and then you just like, no, we're gonna make her lose just like she did in WWE. Like, why would you? Everybody knows what a badass she is. Like, why would you chop her legs off from her and then like, no, she's gonna be an underdog, like that plucky underdog that it's gonna make a comeback. And it's like, she was losing over there too. Why would you continue that here? She needs to come here and kick.
They threw her in with Ortiz. Like, what was that?
Yeah, like it's yeah, man. They dropped the ball on her so bad. Like the song was getting over, you know what I mean? And so that's a classic song, and that's something we'll talk about some other day. But like that's such a classic song, and everything was going great. And then she fucking like even Kristen, my girlfriend, who doesn't watch. I mean, she watches with us. But she doesn't keep up as much as I do. Like she'll keep up when I know. Like she was so mad when she lost the title. She was even madder when she lost that Owen Hart tournament. She was like, why the fuck does she keep losing? Like, why do they want us to like her if she keeps losing? Like, that right there said it from a casual fan. You know what I mean? That only watches a little bit. And it's like, if she would have won, I'm pretty sure every week she would have been like, how's she doing? Or let's watch it. You know what I mean? Like, if she's wrestling this week, let's watch it. Like, but no, like, now she doesn't have any taste. Like, doesn't, like, I get it, the Britt Baker thing. But, like, dude, like, her boyfriend's there now. Like, it really makes it look like they're catering to her. Like, Jamie Hayter's a champion, but she's the focal point of the thing, like it's, you gotta kind of start weighing her down so you can bring other people up. Like her and Hayter should have split up a while ago, like, and if that's still,
Or they should have had Hayter beat her for the belt.
Hayter needs to beat her with no bullshit. And then like you have the Soraya and Tony Storm thing, which is not interesting to me at all. Like honestly, like it sucks because like I thought they were doing something with the Hikaru Shida thing. I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. Hikaru's, she's great in the ring. Like so, you put her in with anybody, she's gonna kick ass. And Thunder Rosa's not there right now, so it's like, all right, this could be interesting. Then I don't know what happened with her. I think she got hurt or something's going on. But like that whole women's division thing right now is like where they're trying to kind of base it off of a one storyline, like leaves everybody else kind of hanging to dry. You know what I mean? That division's kind of suffering for it right now. So
and then you can look at the other belt, the TBS champion, and that's just dead too.
It's the J
50 and 0,
right?
51-0, whatever it is. Yeah, there's no excitement whatsoever. What I think they should do there is have Chris Statlander come back and once she's out returns from injury and beat Jade. That would be something special right there. They could do something with that.
they're so afraid, I think, to do like the
But
thing where
until
like
then, I don't see anyone else.
to me it looks like they're so afraid to do the classic old school thing where like when I was watching when I was a kid, it's like when somebody returned, it wasn't crazy to see them go straight to the championship and win it. Like that wasn't strange, like because that was part of the story build. Like nowadays they don't do that because like there's like this no, we can't just give it to them and it looks like we're favoring. I'm like, well, yeah, you are. Like you're riding the wave, the momentum wave of like good. You know what I mean? Not bad. Like who gives a shit? Like
Yeah.
I said, sometimes it like so Chris Sandler coming back and like kicking ass and going straight to Cargo and beating her and winning. That's gonna put her over a million times. But they got like this thing
Mhm.
where they want Cargo to be like this.
The Roman Reigns.
Not only that, but like this conduit into the world of like hip hop, which is
Yeah.
fine. But like a lot of times, you're bringing in people that none of these kids even grew up watching. Like Trina was there. I knew who Trina was. Like I don't know if anybody else knew what it was. Jermaine Dupri was there. I'm like I knew who Jermaine Dupri was, but I don't know if like people your age knew or care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that it's not working. If Rick Ross
And then she was beefing with a little Bow Wow, and it's just like, what?
and then nothing happened. You know, like it's just like
Yeah, nothing happened.
let it go, man. Like let's move on. Let's stick to the wrestling. Why the reason why people watched you in the first place, and then I think you'll be all right. So they got a lot of stuff that they need to capitalize on. Like you have those other four pillars, not the original four pillars, but the other four pillars, like you know, that are trying to come up that they're trying to like kind of bring up. You know what I mean? Like and like what do you do with them like Hook, you know, Hook stuck with that one title, like he needs to start, you know, I know he's wrestling Matt Hardy soon, that's good because he
Yeah,
can,
for the
you know,
belt.
that's an actual like, you know, match. And then Top Flight, what's the name of the kid,
Dante Martin.
one that doesn't get hurt, yeah, Dante Martin. He's a guy that they could capitalize with, who they got, I mean they, and then you know they got to pick two other people that but like, you know, because Jungle Boy needs to start moving him up too. Darby's always at, you know, Darby's got that, I think he's got that spot where he's always gonna kind of be in the mix, but they need other people that are like
Yeah.
gonna be like that are in the mix that can, you know, fly from like Jungle Boy needs to win that fucking All Atlantic title and just go around the world and just make him like the workhorse because he's young, he can handle those mileage right now. Like that's
Mhm.
what you do with him. You know, you give him the belt, you let him go everywhere to Mexico to Japan to wherever the fuck, defend a title, put it
Yeah.
on TV, so when he does come back, it means something. So, but then that's a good way to build him, and hopefully they do because they got gold with that kid. But you know what I mean? Like we'll see what they do with it for sure.
Because I feel like All Atlantic came out, and now it's just like, I'm not really too outs.
Yeah.
They had one recently with Orange Cassidy and what was the recent one? It was like last week where he developed, but he won it in. So it's not too exciting.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
even know. See, that's the thing. It's like we don't even know.
No clue.
It's just repetitive.
Yeah, no clue.
Back to the Jade Cargill topic. What you think?
That she's overrated?
Is cutting off again?
No, I can hear you. It's
Yeah, let's jumping back in. Yeah. So what do you think of her wrestling skills?
she got
Overrated,
better.
underrated. They're just not using her right.
I mean, no, I mean they're using her to like her potential right now, and she has gotten better because you have no choice but to get better if you're just doing the same match every week and being the same people in the same way. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal with her. Like, but eventually, yeah, she has to make that leap into the other title, and then I think that's when you'll see like if she can hang with like the Sheetas, the, you know, I mean the Ruby Sohos, the, you know, whoever they have lined up, haters and all those top Tony Storm and all those top girls. So, but I mean, I'm not too mad at the way they're building her. I'm just mad at like I hate when they make people unbeaten like that because then there's nowhere to go afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you lose to her, everybody's gonna think she's a loser. Like, it's not true. Like, she could still come back and do more things. But if she would have lost from like, earlier on and stuff, like you can do different matches, different things where like the wins and loss don't mean that much. But now that if she loses, it's like, oh, she's a loser now. Blah blah. Like, what do you do after that, right? And the winning streak gets old fast too. Yeah. All right. Underrated right now.
Underrated.
Underrated, underused. Underrated for sure. I don't think the WWE has seen what he can do, what he can really do. Still, like I know he's gotten older and he's just kind of, but and you know maybe it's done him some good and his body's healed up and that kind of stuff. But I don't think people have seen what he's capable of. But so definitely underrated.
Yeah. And then just
Going off of that spot that he had for Royal Rumble, like it was 50-50. It was both of their efforts, but they pushed him more towards Logan Paul.
Yep,
And
exactly.
it's just like, man, well, he did good for not being in the company like that, like the other guys. He
Mhm.
did his thing, but we got to give credit to Ricochet too to have it perfectly.
Yep.
I agree with you.
You need somebody good for that. Yeah. All right.
Roosh.
Overrated.
Over.
I like Roosh, but Roosh can only have one kind of match. The Roosh match. You know what I mean? Like I thought he was cool like in Ring of Honor, but I think after he got the title over there, he kind of just started having like these boring matches. And like even in AEW now, I'm just like, oh, maybe he wasn't as great as we thought he was. Like I think he's great of having that match, and like he's not a high flyer. So I mean, but I don't know. Maybe we just haven't seen enough of him or what he's capable of. But as of right now, I think he's overrated.
What his counterpart, Andrade.
Over fucking rated. If you have to be in like the conditions have to be perfect for you to have a great match, like you're just a dick. You know what I mean? Like that guy's kind of a dick. Like no, he didn't have like when he was in NXT. Oh, he was out partying too much and this and that and that's going on. That's what they're like. No, come on, man. Like if you're that good, like his first couple matches in AEW were garbage. Like I was like, dude, what happened? Like maybe he's another guy that we thought was that great, and maybe he wasn't. But I think he's overrated. I don't mind that he's not there because they weren't doing anything with him. If he wants to go back, I say let him go back. What the fuck is he gonna do over there? He's not gonna be the top guy there. Let him go back. Let him go back. Then they're just gonna have the same problem over there. Exactly. Then they'll just cry about it again. So overrated.
Bobby Lashley.
I think he's at where he's supposed to be at.
You
I don't think he's over. I don't think he's under. I think he's at where people know like that he's a badass and he can do this much and that. He could be muscle guy really easily, but I think people know that he's not unbeatable. So and he's got title runs. He's gotten everything that a guy like that you would think from the beginning would accomplish. So no, I think he's right where he's at. Hall of Famer for sure. Yeah, he's fine. he's okay. Bobby Lashley's life is okay. He doesn't need all his accolades anymore. He's good.
The reason I bring it up just because they came out with that list, the 2022 most overrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I already spoiled number one with you earlier when we went over it, but for those who haven't heard, I'm gonna start from the bottom. Ranked number 5, Austin Theory, as overrated.
Okay, agreed.
Austin Theory. Number 4, CM Punk.
Agreed.
Number 3, Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Okay, three's at least it's not number 1.
Number 2, Tyrus.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he's garbage. Not even, and I'm not just saying that because of this Fox News bullshit that he does. Like he's garbage. His dancing's great though, but his dancing's underrated. But his work is crap. Anyways.
So she was ranked most overrated
Ronda Rousey?
according to Ronda Rousey.
I mean,
159 votes.
Her first run was great, yeah, but yeah, lately, like, it's just nothing. Like, you can just tell she's phoning it in. You know what I mean? And when you give that vibe off, then nobody really cares about your. I mean, everybody knows that you're the big dog, but like, if you don't care, then nobody else is gonna care. But you can
One thing I don't like, I get that they were UFC fighters, but I don't like they bring that onto the wrestling world. Like they did it for a while with Brock Lesnar, where they make him wear the gloves. They do the same thing for her. Well, they're in a different world. Like they don't need to be wearing that stuff anymore. But I guess just so they could show the image. But
yeah, sure.
Did you keep up with all the other awards that they announced?
No. Go ahead. I mean, I know. I think I might have heard a couple of them, but nothing comes to mind right
now. So they came out with the Wrestling Observer Newsletter 2022 awards. So for the best booker, Tony Khan. You got best booker of the year.
You know what? Because it was it was the whole year. You know what I mean? Like it was him the whole year, and it was consistent. I should say that's what it is. Like WWE was kind of like a back and forth year. So yeah, I mean that you can't disagree with that one. I'm sure there's some stand up for WWE guys that are probably pissed about it, but whatever, suck it.
Yeah, but we have Roman.
Yeah, Roman.
They also won a promotion of the year. Third.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
like that. I'm surprised about that one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next year might be different, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
the WWE's off to a pretty decent start for the 2023.
They got to keep that momentum, man. And what we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
scary.
Well,
Scary. All right, go ahead.
best weekly TV show, Dynamite.
Of course, best
time
on TV. Yeah, best watching on TV. So you can't.
Yeah. Best major wrestling show, AEW, New Japan, The Forbidden Door.
That was a
the
good
best
show.
Major wrestling show.
That was a good show. I enjoyed that show, especially when Shibata came out. Like I got like literal chills because I they were saying that he almost died and then all this stuff, and then he comes out and it's that was awesome for me. Like that was probably one of my favorite moments of the year for sure.
Let me see if you could guess the wrestler of the year.
In my huh?
It's an AEW.
Okay, never mind then, because I'm like it has to be Will Ospreay, but probably Kenny. No, Moxley.
Mox.
Okay, yeah.
Mox won the wrestler of the year.
Yeah, he has to, man. He
also won the United States and Canada MVP.
I mean, he was the. I was just about to say that he's been the MVP for them. Like he has literally kept them afloat. So I can't argue against that one. That's a good choice. But I mean, as far as like in ring work, I think it was Ospreay. I think Ospreay's his. I think what hinders him is that he hasn't come to America yet. And that's the only thing. Like if he wrestled with AEW or
underrated, overrated.
Ospreay is fucking underrated still. People don't think have seen what he can do, man. Like I've been watching him since he was a kid, and like that Omega match he had, Wrestle Kingdom was. It reminded me, or it made me feel the same way when I watched Okada and Kenny the first time. Like I was like blown away. I was like, oh shit! Like he's hitting his peak now. You know what I mean? And then that's probably gonna be like another 6-7 years of peak, and then he's got injuries, so like he knows how to pace himself now. So I mean, he's following the Kenny book to a T because he's pretty much doing the same thing Kenny did. Like, so they're gonna have a match soon, and they're gonna fucking tear it down for sure. That when they go at it like on American pay-per-view TV, it's probably gonna be the greatest match you've ever seen. Hope's officially up.
The best technical wrestler.
I mean, it has to be Bryan Danielson, right? To my eyes, it's Zack Sabre Jr.
Time.
Yeah, to my eyes, it's Zack Sabre Jr. who retires,
time,
but Bryan Danielson's a little bit more of a sexier pick for so yeah.
He won it for the 11th time. The feud of the year went to the Briscoes. R.I.P.
And FTR.
They got the feud of the year. Yes.
Yeah, that's without like just honoring Jay, that's still like that trilogy was fun. That was a fun trilogy to watch. That last match was brutal, but I like brutal. It took me back to a time when I was really into like that kind of violent stuff. So yeah, it's. I think they deserve
ECW
it.
days.
Yeah, definitely deserve it for sure.
The most improved. Can you guess that one?
Most improved. Is it somebody who's a champion?
This one's a little tricky.
Actually, it's tricky because it's not just one, so it's a tag team.
It's a tag team? I would have said Jay Cargill, but now I'm gonna probably think it's the Acclaimed, right? Because they, won the titles and everything.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's true too, man.
I did on that one, but I'm like, no, the most improved, but it went to two people, so
and it
wasn't gonna be a little different.
It's not Bowens. Bowens is amazing. the other kid had to step it up. So, but that's good for him. Like he, Bones went down with the injury, stepped it up, and now they're a great tag team. That's good. Good for them.
My favorite one for the end. The best on interviews.
Oh, that's MJF.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
And he also won the most charismatic on the mic.
True. Okay, I can't argue that.
I thought they were giving it to like Cody or something, but I think MJF has leapfrogged Cody. At least that's what I think. I mean, they both kind of do the same thing over and over. Where like MJF shits on the crowd, and then he whatever makes fun of the team and makes fun of whoever he's fighting, brings some personal stuff, and then like Cody talks about his dad for the millionth time. Like, no, dude, I get it. Like,
yeah,
God.
And I feel like that's why they're gonna give it to Cody. Going back to that topic, just because they said like he has to do what the other roads weren't able to do, and is to win the belt. And
yeah, but the reason that his dad never won the belt is because he was competing against them back in the 80s. That's the reason why they brought him in and gave him fucking polka dots and made him act a fool. Because like now, you competed against me. I'm gonna bring you. Need money now. You need a job now. I'm gonna bring you and I'm gonna make a fool out of you. But I mean, even Vince couldn't turn the people against Dusty. Like it made him even more lovable. Like those polka dots and him dancing back in the day. Like I was a big fucking fan of Dusty Rhodes just because I saw a guy who was like big and fat. Hey, it's my cat. Like that. Like he's doing his thing, man. So yeah, I mean, like that's the reason why. I'm not sure that he's gonna get it. It's like, do they still say "fuck you, Dusty"? Like, does Vince McMahon still say "fuck you, Dusty," or does they say finally bury the hatchet? Long after he's dead, his kid leaves, starts a whole fucking revolution, and it takes off and everything, and then he comes crying back, like he comes running back, which that's probably the reason why I don't like him very much. Like Cody. When he went back to WWE, I remember I was talking to my friends, and I'm like, Cody's the Kanye West of fucking wrestling. And what I mean by that is that he tricked everybody into thinking that he was like an indie kind of guy that I'm gonna start this kind of revolutionary kind of a trend-setting guy, and he just ends up running back and going where the money, or going back to the bigger promotion where they so I was like, kind of like Kanye tricked everybody into thinking he was like this backpack hip-hop guy. In reality, he was just a fucking dude looking for money and fame. So that's what I said. That's my thoughts on Cody here. But I could do a whole nother podcast on that whole situation. It's just I'm just like I'm not bitter over it. I just think that's like a bitch move. But but I'm not paying the dude's bills, so whatever. If he's happy, cool. But don't be surprised if he doesn't win it. Just saying. Yeah, I know I kind of went off the rails on that one, but yeah, that's kind of it. All right, man. Yeah, I guess we could wrap it up now for the first one. How'd you feel? How you like it? You good?
It went well. Yeah, it went well.
Okay,
still got little kinks that we got to work out over here, but
yeah, but we'll get to it, man. Hopefully, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and like if you're new here. All that stuff. If you're coming back, if you stuck around and waited, thank you. Like, I know it's gonna take some getting used to, but we got to build up our dynamic and our repertoire and how we talk and stuff. So hopefully you guys will come around. The good thing about having my nephew on here is that he actually watches WWE and AEW all the time, to where I don't. So at least I have somebody to bounce off of and not just articles. You know what I mean? So that's great. That's why I'm really
for the events too, the live events, man.
Yeah, and the live events too, and he goes to them.
Yeah, I'll be out there taking that flight.
He's a millionaire. I don't know.
No,
I'm just kidding. No, man. It's great. It's fun to have you on here, man. Because like we could, in the future, I'm sure we could talk about stuff in the past. When you were a kid and I was a teenager and I was forcing you guys to watch this stuff, and and all watching it together and stuff. And I'm sure that's gonna come up sooner or later. But for now, like this, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you, man, for doing this with us, and hopefully we're gonna be doing more in the future. Hopefully you guys stick around, and we build a little audience here. So bring back that audience we had a long time ago. So thank you guys again, and have fun watching wrestling.
Thank you guys.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Thank you guys.